Hey guys, today I am seed starting some lettuce and leafy greens, but I thought I would show you really quickly how I organize my seeds because I had a couple of people ask to see this little box I've got here. So this is just like a remade milk crate, I guess, that I got from Hobby Lobby a while back. I have two of these actually. And then I just made these little black cards that has all of the plant families, and there's like some subcategories. So under the beans, I've got bush beans and pole beans. And then under flowers, I have perennials and annuals. And then I have my annuals separated by color also. But see, you can see the cucurbits family. I've got cucumbers in there. I've got squash, gourds, pumpkins, watermelons. So there's a whole bunch of little categories in here. Under alliums, I've got those separated by onions and chives and shallots, and then root crops. I've got like the beets, carrots, radishes. Then I've got an herb category. There's a grain category. Sunflowers have their own category because I have a lot of varieties of sunflowers. And then you can see the nightshades. I've got them separated by tomatoes, and then tomatillos, and then I've got like ground cherries, peppers, eggplants, all of that. So that's how I organize my seeds, and I am quickly outgrowing this tray because I do go through all of my seeds about every 2 years. So all of these seeds will probably be used up by next year, at least most of them, and then I'll have to get some more in or seed save them. And then all of these gray and craft packs that you see are all seeds that I've saved from my own crops. And then you'll see some plastic baggies in there. There's several ways that I save my own seeds and how I store them. I'll store them in these. I'll store them in little plastic baggies like this. So there's all kinds of ways. I don't care as long as they stay organized. And then I made these little notebooks. I just stitched these little notebooks together, and they're just little notebooks that I'll carry with me each month. So for January, I'll carry this one with me when I go out, and I'll take notes as far as when stuff is sprouting and when I've planted it and all of that good stuff. There's checklists in there. So then next year, when I want to see how everything did this year, I can reference back to the month of this past year and see if I want to try to plant things earlier. So I just keep those to take notes of things. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then, I do also tend to keep like my seed packets, my empty seed packets I keep back here, and I only keep the seed packets to things that I really liked or that I was successful growing so that I could reference back to them. And then I just got some pencils, some markers, and some extra baggies for seed saving in there. So really simple system. You can do it all yourself. You can even build one of these boxes yourself. I'll probably do a video on that because I do want to build a better one than this one, something that's a little bit bigger. All right, let's go start some lettuce seeds. I want to pick out some leafy greens. Let's see, where's my leafy greens section? Right here. So see, I've got leafy greens. And I'm just going to go ahead and grab this whole section because I am likely going to start all of these. So we're inside today, and I've already got some soil blocks ready. I just used my handy dandy soil blocking tool. I have a couple sizes of these. These little squares actually fit into these bigger squares that I have. So you can see there's little squares inside there. So when I make these blocks, there's a little divot that is this perfect size so that these blocks will fit inside in case I need to upgrade. But with lettuce, I'm not really going to do that because when these are ready, when these sprout up and they've got a couple of true leaves, they're going to go right into the ground. So I won't be transferring these into a soil block. If you want some more information on these soil blocks or you want to see them being used, I do have a video up. If you look, I'll link it below actually, and it's called The Best Way to Seed Start, of course, in my opinion. So there's a couple of handy things I really like to use when I seed start, and one of them is a water brush. I like to paint, so I already have these, but you can get these online. I'll put a link below. And I love these because you fill the handle up with water And then I just use the little paintbrush tip to grab tiny seeds and place them. And if the seed doesn't come off the brush, you just give the handle a little squeeze and it lets off some water, so the seed will fall right off onto where you want it to go. So I love using this as a seed starting tool. It works perfectly. And then the second thing I use is just a regular old plate to put my seeds on. So I just pour my seeds out onto this plate. So one of the first things I'm gonna seed start is this Freckles romaine lettuce. And I love the way this looks, and it's gonna be my first year growing it. So you can see for little seeds like this, the paintbrush works amazing. And you can actually pick up several seeds at one time and place them, and it goes much faster, and you'll see that here in a minute. So each one of these square sections has 20 soil blocks in it. So I'm doing 120 starts for this speckled romaine lettuce. I grew romaine last year and it did really well for me, so I really like it. And then in this middle row, I believe I'm starting pak choi, and I'm doing 60 of those. And then now I am starting some cilantro, which cilantro seeds are quite large, but the paintbrush still picks them up just fine. And then for my last row, I'm starting some endive. So in this tray I've had these trays for several years. I've used them so many times. I actually line it with some newspaper because there are some grooves in the bottom of the tray, and since these soil blocks are so tiny, I want to kind of get rid of those grooves, so I just line it with newspaper, so that's why the newspaper is there. This step is totally optional, but I like to sprinkle coconut coir or seed starting mix on top, and then I'll pack it down a little bit just so the seeds have good contact with the soil and they're covered up so I could trap some moisture in. And this is a really, really thin layer, so even if the seeds do require light, or if they're smaller seeds that you would normally just lay on the surface, you could still cover them up with this tiny amount of soil and they'll get plenty of light to germinate. Again, now I'm just packing them down, making sure that they have good contact with the soil. Then I just label the front of the trays with some stickers, and I just write what they are. These are black Simpson lettuce seeds, and you can see you can grab several at a time. And when you put them down, you just kind of turn your brush to get one on each block. And then if you get a seed stuck, you could squeeze the handle and a drop of water will push the seed off of the tip of the brush. Now I am sowing, which ones? These are the pak choi seeds, which are very similar to like your broccoli seeds or your kale seeds, and the paintbrush has no problem picking those up. Here are some seeds that I started a few days ago, and these are in the larger soil blocks, and I've already got some sprouting. It looks like it is my red Brussels sprouts, so I'm really excited. All of them germinated, and I'm going to end up starting a whole tray of these probably tonight for my garden. But these are the blocks that you can put the little tiny blocks in that I just was seeding in, so I really, really love the soil blocking method for this. Here's another tray of the small blocks that I started a few days ago also, and you can see stuff is already sprouting, and these are actually orange marigolds and white marigolds that are the first to come up, so excited for those. So I keep these trays in the front room of our house. It's really warm up here. I keep a space heater in here also during the night when it cools down. And it has a window where it gets some direct sun, so that's all I do, and I just keep them in here until they're ready to transplant. So yeah, that's it for my little seed starting video today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you try out some of these soil blocks. Again, I'll link those below, and let me know what you're seed starting, because I'd like to see if there's anything that maybe you can inspire me to grow this year. Alright, I'll see you later.